food studies program. Just getting to know people who were involved in agriculture really helped me to appreciate why local food is important.
I think that supporting local is super important because I'd like to see my money go towards my neighbors and people that I know in my community.
We know that it's healthier for students to have access to fresh food, but it's also really good for the local economy, and it's good for Canada in general.
Local food is important to me because when you're supporting local, you're building the local economy and you're supporting your neighbors full out economically, and you're also like building your community around you.
It's super important for environmental sustainability, and that's another one of the main reasons why I've started to buy local as much as I can, because I want to reduce my carbon footprint.
Food transportation represents a huge burden on the environment in terms of emissions from the vehicles that transport it, and so in a fast changing climate world, it's good to have some reliance on our own assets.
Acadia campus supporting local agriculture is an important issue for me, both as a Acadia student and as a local farmer in the Annapolis Valley region. I believe that choosing to support local agriculture is important because it's easier to know where your food is coming from and who is growing it. There's also the opportunity to form a relationship between local growers and consumers when they live in the same community.
I like to know who the producer is. That's pretty cool to have that personal relationship with the person and ask how this was grown or ask some questions.
For example, if the food they grow is organic, spray-free or neither, greenhouse or not, or free-range or not. It'd be nice to not have to ask the question in local grocery stores of whether your food is local or not. It just is.
Local food means that we're supporting our farmers in our area, we're supporting our local producers and our vendors, and that's really important to make sure that we can maintain the sustainability of not only our environment but Annapolis Valley itself.
I think there's been a lot of emphasis lately on the local food movement. It's kind of sparked up in the last probably 20 years or so, since people realized that building global food systems is not always the most sustainable way to do it.
We've been doing a lot of things over the years. About 4 years ago, a food committee was formed on campus to look at our whole food system and try to improve the sustainability of our food system. So there are students, staff, and faculty involved in that initiative, as well as people from the community, from public health. So it's very much a collaborative effort to try to advance a number of issues in our food services and our food system on campus. Part of our work has been to develop a healthy and sustainable food policy for Acadia that involves a vision for our food service on campus, as well as our values for that food system.
I think there's lots of different benefits for Acadia getting local food, but a couple of the biggest that come to mind for me are, first, that we get to support a local economy. Second, it's an opportunity for students to learn about what local food really is and things like what's in season, what isn't, how that could translate into their own food purchases if they were to choose to eventually move off campus. It can really set habits that will extend further on into their food lives.
Sometimes it's really hard for farmers to sell their food locally because it's really hard for them to compete with other much bigger companies. And if we have something like Acadia, which is big and has a lot of students, has a lot of demand for food, if we get our food locally, it can have a really, really good impact on our local economy, and it can help our local farmers, make money and keep doing what they love to do.
Supporting local food here on campus is really important because it can be the healthier option a lot of the time, and making sure that it's provided to students who ask for it is really essential in our learning development.
For the students on campus, the meal hall contract is up, and if you want to get involved and you want to make your voice heard and you want to have more local food on campus, then now is the time to get out there and push people to say this is what I want.
So the food contract was developed in 2006, so it has been going for 10 years. It was renewed last year for an extra year, and then this year it has been decided, but not signed yet, that we will renew it for another 2 years for a variety of reasons. Some of these reasons include that there are currently a lot of administration shifts, and that's really difficult to have a whole other food contract signed while there's a lot of administration shifts, and because we need to figure out as a student body what we want to see in this new request for proposals.
Opportunities for RFPs or requests for proposals in food contracts on campus are a huge opportunity, and they have really long-lasting effects. So, for example, tonight we discussed upcoming renewal of a contract for 2 years, which could then be renewed for a further 10 years. So for a decade, we're stuck with old practices, and so we really need to think proactively and try and make choices that will benefit us in the future.
The food contract can have a lot of things that the students want. In reality, this contract comes down to what we ask for. So if we ask for local food, we will get local food because we are the customers. And so whatever you ask for is what they can provide you.
Advocating for what's important to the students and recognizing that you do have a voice. This is your campus, it's your food service. And I think, again, engaging with your student union, engaging with university administrators on these issues is really important.
If you want to get involved with sustainability efforts, you can come visit me in my office, 628, from 1:30 to 4:30 on Tuesdays in the old Student Union building, and I can help you find a club or committee that you're interested in. If you'd like to get more involved with the local food sector, you can come talk to me as well. I can help you connect to meet with Chartwells. If you want to just talk to Chartwells directly, they have an office at the back of Meal Hall. Go talk to them. Go ask them, hey, I would really like this on this day that I haven't been able to find. Can you help me find it? More likely than not, they're going to try to help you.
It's hard to get a sense of how difficult it is to actually produce food when you just go to a supermarket and buy it. But if you go to farmers markets, if you talk to the farmers, and if you actually go to the farms and try to make the food yourself, have a garden of your own, or volunteer at a farm, that's really the best way to get connected with food and understand how important it is and how much work goes into producing it.
And also just getting involved in campus. The Acadia Farm is always looking for volunteers, and there's always lots of opportunities in season to help grow food and learn about growing food and grow extremely local food for the dining hall and for our Acadia campus.
Just go and learn, figure out where your food comes from and what's in it, and make that local connection. Know your producers, then you can know exactly what you're getting, like what it's gone through and everything along the way.
I highly recommend anyone, no matter how old you are, to get into growing some of your own food, because it's exciting just watching your food grow, and it's just nice to feel that feeling of I produced this, and being able to eat food that was grown from your land and